The first introduction to Karate-Do training is the student's wearing and maintenance of his uniform, or his gi. Every gi should be folded and brought to class, and after class should be folded and taken home. The correct way to fold your gi, first off we'll discuss, is we need to fold in the arms over the main body of the gi. Secondly, we need to place the uniform in the middle, folding the sides, then rolling from either the top or the bottom. And the cue levels should start with the middle of their belt, wrap it around as if they were tying it, and underneath, tie it to the top. Then they can carry their gi home. Now, if they have a bag to put it in, that'd be good as well. The next portion of the proper maintenance of your gi would be the correct way to wear it. When you place it on your person, you need to make sure that first off you fold it and tie it with the right, tie it over to the left and to the inside. Then the left over the top and tie it to the right side. Now, if you happen to do that just the reverse, that would indicate that your instructor had passed away. So that's why it's important to wear it just this one direction. Now, there are two ways to put your belt on. I usually tell all the cue levels, and that'd be the levels under black belt, to find the middle of it, of the belt, place it right below the navel, right around the belt line. Pull tight, tight from behind. This kind of supports your back all the way to the front. Then take the left side here, pull it underneath both levels of the belt. Again, taking the same one, it's now on your right, placing it over the top and pulling from underneath. This will perform a square knot right here. Later on, as you become a little more proficient at putting your belt on, you can get that same tightness by starting one side and pulling around tight. This will also keep your belt level, look a little better from behind. It won't look like it's crossed. You pull it over tight. Again, you tie the same way, taking the left one, pulling under both. Again, now it's on the right, over the top, up and under. It's a square knot. Try to make them level here. You're surprised at how many black belts still have a hard time tying their belt, and they forget it's not something we wear just strictly for rank, but it's to support our small of our back right here. Should go right underneath our belly and support the small of our back. So that's the correct way to wear the belt. The next thing that students should learn is the correctness of his bow. If it's a senior student, and this is a junior student, they would bow with the hands to the side. Bowing at each other is a symbol of greeting, saying hello, saying thank you, saying I'm ready to train. When a lower student bows to an upper student, he bows looking at your feet. The upper student bows looking at him. When they come back up, it is showing of respect to the senior student by saying, I trust you enough that I'm looking low. And when we are bowing at same levels, he's a green belt and I'm a green belt, we would bow looking at each other, saying, thank you, or I'm ready, but looking into each other's eyes, not having that same respect or courtesy enough that we figure he won't attack us. Okay, so we want to kind of look straight ahead at the belt levels that are our same rank, look above someone that is lower rank, and someone in senior rank, look down at their feet, showing them the most respect. Okay, now, the next area of your Karate-Do training that's important to remember is every class begins and ends with courtesy and respect. You begin each class when you come into the school. If you have an entry door and you have a teacher in the class, senior level belt, when you come in, you would first bow to the school, to the head of the school, and you would bow to each black belt or to the most senior of the black belts. Upon leaving, you would do the same thing. You do it just reverse. You'd bow to the instructor first, and you'd bow to the school last. So the school gets your first and last respect. The object of the bow has no religious significance. It's strictly for teaching you courtesies and respect. In the Orient, a handshake is not performed, the bow is. It's part of their courtesies. So we practice that same thing in our karate training. Now the next thing that we'll be looking at will be how a class lines up. The most important thing to remember here on your class lining up is that the senior most black belt will be out in front of the class. Then you will have your black belts in one row. Then you would have your brown belts, green belts, white belts in another row, and so on. The most senior student being right over here to your right, if you're facing your instructor. Okay? All right, first you'd have the students come and line up, again with the senior student here. This is to the instructor's left. All the high-ranking belts would then go from high to low. Then the next row again, high to low. Then the instructor, your sensei, would say, Satoshi, drop down. Everybody just drop down. Fold their feet behind them, sit down. Next, the day senpai, or the senior dojo brother, would give the command, sensei, ni de, and then give a hype so that everybody would know to bow and leaning forward. Now, the important thing about this bowing is that there are two ways to do it. You just bow like this, forward, and back up. If you really want to show a tremendous amount of respect, such as to Master Kisei or a real high-ranking black belt, you start by placing your right hand, then your left, bow and place your head between, up, and your left hand back up, and your right hand. This would be the most respect you would perform for a senior belt. Sensei, need it. Okay. What we've done is that the student has started the class, the senior dojo brother, and all the students have said, Dozo oshimasu watashi sensei, which means, please instruct us, sensei, our teacher. At the end of class, the bowing is identical. The only difference then is that the students will respond with domo arigato, thank you very much. Doi tishimashite, you're welcome. Gokura-sama deshita, thank you for taking this time to instruct. And the instructor would respond gokura-sama, which means thank you for doing what's expected. That's how each class begins and ends. The only final thing you want to do is, if you've had a real good workout, are you ready to start a real good workout? All the students need to come up quickly. So, the sensei says, Tsuke, Tenshun, hey, everybody come up. And that shows that you're ready.